Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Dream Engine's Nomad Cities. This is a game that has been in Steam's early access for about 3 years. It was first released back in 2021 into early access, and in about 3 or 4 days' time, as of the date and time of this recording, the game is going to fully release. What you're looking at is a private full release build, but things are subject to change still. It's possible the developer might patch a couple of things prior to the game's launch. So, Dream Engine's Nomad Cities is a very compact city builder where you're going to be constructing factories and resource generating buildings and different things like that around your core. And you're going to be surviving as long as you can in that area until the enemies get so bad and so hard that you are forced to launch and find another place to settle. And then that silent timer kind of starts all over at that new location, and you're trying to survive as long as you can there. The kicker is you can only take so much with you. Your city, whenever it launches, has a radius around it like a platform, and whatever buildings are off of your platform will remain behind. So yeah, there's a bit of sacrifice in this game as well. So, real quick, we'll take a look at the settings menu. Just pause if you want to see any of this in greater detail. I decided I'd take you through this personally today just because there's a lot of aspects to the UI and different menus that you have to cycle through and different concepts that require some explaining. So, it's just easier for me to do it in person and live. So, let's go ahead and show you what a new game setup looks like. Whenever you do start a new game, you can choose between different tribes. There's the Junk Lords, which you get in the very beginning, but then as you continue playing over time, there's the Dream Weavers, the Teslacrats, the Beavers, the Remnant Seekers, the Terra Multa, and so on. So you'll be able to, as you complete achievements, unlock more tribes, and that will affect your gameplay because each one has different starting stats and attributes and different things like that. Now, one thing I love, this is amazing. The amount of customization here for difficulty is great. There's relaxed all the way down to Dream Plague, but again, you can customize that further if you want to. There's an Iron Man, there's a survival mode, and what this mainly affects is there's something called global infestation. And what that means is as you jump from location to location, the game is supposed to get harder and harder and harder in survival mode. So you're kind of like forced to be as efficient as possible and keep your technology ever increasing as quickly as possible to maintain, the more and more difficult enemies that you'll face. But if you have survival mode off, you can continue jumping around as much as you want. The game will not increase in difficulty that way. But like I said, whenever you land, you will be attacked, and over time the threat level increases, so you have to move somewhere else. But you can do that infinitely without the game getting harder with survival mode off. So if you don't like a ticking clock, like a meta clock, then turn survival mode off. Okay? And then there's like easy numbers, combat difficulty, or enemy numbers, combat difficulty, economy, all this stuff. So you can customize that any way you want to, but like I said, I love it when games give you this huge array of options. Now, I'm not going to start a new game, but I will load up my previously saved one. I have a couple of saves that I wanted to quickly show you. The one I'm about to show you is just like right before I'm about to jump to the next location. This is kind of like your starting location. You are this robot here, and there's two modes. There's like regular mode, which I can attack. It's like an action RPG mode. And then there's the management mode. I can hit tab and go into this. And I should probably turn the audio down a bit more so that you're not hearing that rain. Okay, so while you're in build mode, you can access your build menu on the left here, and then you can construct various buildings. There's defensive buildings like turrets and walls and gates, eventually traps, and you'll unlock more over time. There is a research menu, and you'll be creating like these potions, like in Factoria, those beakers. You'll be creating beakers, and that will allow you to further your tech. And as you can see, there's quite a bit here to unlock. So yeah, you'll be here for quite a while trying to unlock everything. In the upper left-hand corner is your resources. Again, the amount of resources you see here may change depending on how far you are in the game. There's the threat level here, and again, as you are in one location, the threat level will increase and you will be attacked more often. If you click on this box, you'll get some more information based on your chosen difficulty and stuff like that. You can also see what things are in your current area. Whenever you jump to a new area, you'll be able to pick a card like this, and that will determine how many resources are in an area, any special attributes to the area, any special buildings that might be in that area, and so on. Building management, if you want to see what you've got and then manage worker count from here, you can do that. There is a city council, and on occasion you'll have to elect people, and your factions relations will go up or down based on who you pick, and each one has like positives and negatives that you can weigh whenever you're choosing them. So there's that. A takeoff button if you've got enough fuel. Everything around your core on the platform will lift off with you, and you'll be able to choose a new location to land on. But everything else, these conveyor belts over here, they will just they'll go away. So it's a really good idea to disassemble everything that is not on a platform before you leave, so that you get partial resources back. Okay, so there's that. There's this. Well, I think we've already seen that one. We saw the research menu. There's the options menu. There is a guided like quest log on the upper right. You want to follow that if you get lost on what to do next. On the very bottom, at least in this build mode here, there's free camera, delete or demolish, fix and rebuild. Your workers do not like automatically fix stuff. Rather, you have to go around and fix things that are damaged. So I wish workers would repair things automatically, at least on your platform. But yeah, I mean, like you create housing for them here, and you can even upgrade them to make them more efficient. But still, like, I wish they would repair things, but they don't. As far as I know, anyway. I have to always repair things myself. Most of these buildings have like an output and an input. Some of them just have an output, some of them just have an input. It all depends. In this case, these guys are outputting flux, this house, and as part of maintenance, they require food and power. So, you know, different buildings will require different things. This perp-tato farm is outputting perp-tatoes. But the maintenance on that is flux and workers. And again, I can upgrade buildings to make them more efficient. And this is super important because, like I said, your build space around your core is limited. I mean, you can build anywhere, but if you want to keep that building, you want to upgrade it as much as possible and keep it on your platform. That way, you know, your weight doesn't get too heavy. You can't actually lift off if you're overweight. So, like, you have to delete buildings and make others more efficient in order to keep your weight down. I'm about to be attacked here, so I may veer off in a little bit to take care of that. There's a little raid indicator in the upper right-hand corner, and they'll be coming at me from this side. So, there's a crafting button. Your character does have the ability to craft things, like there's a spiked fist to make your punches more powerful. Light star wood reinforcements for your armor. There's an inventory system in this game, repair kit, upgrades, resources, and so on. So you can actually do manual crafting from that as well. If I hit I for my character, I can replace like weapons and the like with upgraded versions if I craft them. So there is like a light RPG element to that as well. These nodes that you find in the environment will produce things, and if you put a factory on it or a mine on it, and some conveyor belts leading from that location, it'll automatically start pumping things out. Even when it runs out of resources, it'll still produce, albeit at a very much slower rate. So the enemies are about to attack, and the combat in this game isn't all that amazing. Like it's not all that flashy or satisfying. It is what it is. Compared to, say, other games in this genre, like Factorio it's okay, but like Rift Breaker, for example, the combat in that game is much more hectic and flashy. This game is just, it's okay, it's there. And it's not bad, don't get me wrong, I don't mind it, but it's just not as satisfying as, say, Rift Breaker. So I defeated that wave. There's an empty node. I can interact with this and put this Featherstone miner on if I want to, and put some conveyor belts down, but I'm about to leave soon. just to show you what that looks like, I'm going to hit the take off button. I'm not going to bother disassembling anything because this is an old save and I'm already working on my other planet. Research menu real quick. Like I said, there's a bunch here, so that this will take you quite a while to get through. But yeah, that's it for that. And I think that's everything on the UI. And now we're just kind of waiting for this. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward time, hold to fast forward. Yeah, you can actually do this as well while you're holding this in. As far as the different buildings are concerned, you'll learn them as you go, but typically, you know, there's food buildings like these ones right here. There's housing so that you have workers. There's flux buildings, there's electricity buildings, and so on. I am now lifting off. And again, everything that isn't on my platform is left behind. You can increase the size of your platforms with a particular upgrade. Now it's telling me, where do you want to land next? This will reset the threat level. But if you have survival mode on, you know, the game will get harder. You can fly elsewhere and refresh this at the cost of fuel, but let's say I need crystals. Well, this place has crystals, this place has crystals, this place has acid shards, so you know it all depends on what you're looking for. You can also see the difficulty in that area as well. There's a difficulty of 2, starting threat is 4 on that one, whereas the starting threat on this is 0. So it all depends. I'll go ahead and click on this one just to do it, and then I'll load my other save to show you where I'm at with that. All right, so I went ahead and loaded my other save, and this is where I'm currently at. I'm on a new planet. And at the moment, I'm trying to get some crystals in so that I can start crafting some new things. All in all, this game is pretty fun and fantastic. One of the biggest hurdles that I had to get over was that you're never going to be able to keep your current configuration for very long. Because like I said, everything off of your platform just goes away when you launch. And the other thing is you're always unlocking new technologies and different things like that. So like this configuration that you see on my current platform, that is not permanent. I'm going to have to change this at some point to make it more efficient, to make room for other buildings that I need to keep. You know, I may decide down the line, I don't need this particular building on my platform anymore. I'll just rebuild it every time I move to a different location. You know, it's up to you on what kind of strategies and what kind of configurations that you want to have. And yes, like I said, you can upgrade your platform and add sections to it in the build menu, but you need to require technology for that. I really enjoy this game. There's a lot to do here. I highly recommend it. Again, the combat could be better, but I don't think that's the primary focus of this game. The primary focus of this game is it's really like a compact city builder. Like it challenges you to find configurations that are very efficient and challenges you to do as much as you can, as efficiently as you can, to keep up with the ticking clock. But again, you can lessen the threat as you want to, as you need to, in the difficulty settings when you're setting up your game. And I love that. So like because the difficulty is so lax and customizable, this game is an easy recommend for me. So I highly recommend checking this game out. So there you go, folks. That was Dream Engines. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Take care.